In what can only be described as a chaotic chapter in the history of Olympic blunders, the men's 5,000-meter heats in Paris turned into a scene of unprecedented disruption. A rogue cameraman, oblivious to the intensity of the race unfolding around him, found himself at the center of controversy as he stumbled onto the track, nearly causing a catastrophic pile-up. This bizarre incident has left athletes and fans alike questioning the professionalism of the event's organization, with Norway's Jakob Ingebrigtsen and Team GB's George Mills among those most visibly shaken by the ordeal. The atmosphere at the Paris Olympics was already charged with tension and drama, particularly after the first heat saw Team GB's George Mills, son of former England footballer Danny Mills, fall victim to a collision that sent 4 athletes tumbling in the final straight. Mills, who had been executing a near-perfect race, found himself suddenly on the ground after a clash with France's Hugo Hay. The aftermath was just as heated as the race itself, with Mills confronting Hay at the finish line, visibly enraged by the incident that saw him finish in a disappointing 18th place. The altercation between Mills and Hay escalated into a physical exchange, with Mills passionately voicing his frustration in a post-race interview, making it clear that he believed Hay had unfairly impeded his race. As if the drama of the first heat wasn't enough, the second heat was marred by an even more unbelievable occurrence. Just as the runners were hitting their stride with 4 laps remaining, a cameraman, seemingly focused on capturing footage of the nearby women's javelin qualifying event, wandered onto the track. The sight of this unsuspecting cameraman, lugging a large camera rig, sent shockwaves through the stadium. Athletes, including Jakob Ingebrigtsen, were forced to swerve dangerously to avoid him. The close call left Ingebrigtsen fuming, and he made his displeasure known as he gestured angrily towards the cameraman mid-race. "It's amateurish," Ingebrigtsen later vented, highlighting the sheer recklessness of the situation. Despite managing to win his heat, Ingebrigtsen was clear in his condemnation of the incident, pointing out that such a blunder should never occur in an event of this caliber, where the stakes are as high as an Olympic medal. The disruption could have had far more dire consequences, but fortunately, only 1 runner fell during the incident. The chaos further highlighted the mounting issues with the organization of the Paris Games, which have already faced scrutiny for other missteps. The focus of the cameraman on a completely separate event, while the athletes were pushing their limits on the track, only adds to the sense of disarray that has plagued these Olympic heats. Ingebrigtsen's frustration is shared by many, as the Olympic dream hangs by a thread for athletes whose preparation and dedication can be undone in a split second by such negligence. Meanwhile, the fallout from George Mills' earlier mishap continued as he awaited the outcome of an appeal lodged by British athletics. Mills, who felt robbed of a prime opportunity to qualify smoothly for the final, expressed his disbelief at how quickly his race had unraveled. His appeal was ultimately successful, securing him a spot in the final, but the bitter taste of the incident lingered. Mills had been executing his race strategy flawlessly, only to see it fall apart in a moment of chaos. His comments after the race underscored the sense of injustice he felt, pointing to the French runner's interference as the reason behind his downfall. As the dust settles on a day filled with unexpected disruptions and heated confrontations, the spotlight now turns to the final of the men's 5,000-meter. For athletes like Jakob Ingebrigtsen and George Mills, the path to Olympic glory has been fraught with obstacles, some of which were entirely avoidable. The chaotic scenes in Paris serve as a stark reminder of the fine line between triumph and disaster in the world of elite sports. As the athletes prepare to give their all in the final, the hope is that the only drama left will be on the track, where it belongs. The Paris Olympics have already provided more than their share of controversy, and the world will be watching closely to see if the event organizers can ensure that the athletes are given the fair and undisturbed stage they deserve in their pursuit of Olympic excellence.